Beginning. A chance encounter. Commander Ethan Voss had seen the wonders of countless star systems, but nothing prepared him for the quiet plea of a child that would alter the course of his life. He had been traveling through the outer colonies of the Drellian sector, delivering supplies to remote research stations, when a small distress beacon flashed across his console. It wasn't a typical emergency signal. Its pattern was irregular, almost rhythmic, as if someone had embedded emotion into the code. "Patch it through," Ethan muttered to his AI assistant. The translation module activated, and a small, tremulous voice came through. "Are you lonesome? Then marry my mom. She's the kindest." Ethan blinked. "Excuse me, what?" The voice repeated, softer and more insistent. "Marry my mom, please." The location tagged along with a signal, a small, isolated outpost on a planet bathed in pale violet light. Despite the oddity, Ethan felt a strange pull. He set a course immediately. The arrival. The planet's surface was serene, a mix of crystal plains and gentle luminescent flora that glowed under twin suns. When Ethan landed, he expected to find a typical research team, but instead he found a tiny girl, no more than 7 years old, standing nervously by a biodome. Her skin shimmered faintly, tinted a soft lavender, and her eyes were wide, reflective pools of green and gold. In her hands, she clutched a small device that pulsed faintly, the source of the distress beacon. "You're the human?" she asked timidly, her voice tinged with hope and curiosity. "I am," Ethan replied carefully. "And you are?" "Leora," she said, bowing slightly. "I sent for you. You're my mom's." She hesitated. "You're human. And humans are kind. My mom is kind too. And you're lonesome, aren't you?" Ethan raised an eyebrow. "And you think I should marry your mom?" Leora nodded solemnly, her gaze unwavering. "Yes, you're strong. And she is kind. It will be right." The words were bizarre, almost comical, yet there was an honesty to them that Ethan couldn't ignore. Beneath the humor was a desperate sincerity. Meeting the mother. Inside the biodome, Ethan finally met Dr. Celera Miles, a scientist researching energy-based flora unique to the planet. Her eyes widened when she saw him, a mix of surprise, caution, and curiosity. "This is unexpected," Celera said softly. "She sent for you," Leora explained. "Said you'd be lonely and that you'd need someone kind." Ethan chuckled awkwardly. "Well, I am lonely, but I don't think marriage proposals usually come from 7-year-olds. Leora crossed her arms. "Then maybe you don't understand the importance of kindness. Or listening." Celera's lips twitched into a small smile. "She's unique." Ethan nodded. "Clearly. But I want to understand. I want to know why she thought I should come." 4 hours, the three of them sat together, and Ethan realized something remarkable. Leora was not only intelligent beyond her years but also insightful in ways that even advanced AI could not replicate. She saw patterns in human behavior, understood emotional gaps, and instinctively recognized potential in others. Bonding and discovery. Over the following weeks, Ethan found himself returning to the planet. The work was demanding, analyzing new energy flora, documenting their properties, and ensuring safety. Yet the presence of Celera and Leora created something he hadn't felt in years: belonging. Leora taught him things he never expected: how to read subtle shifts in alien plant energy, how to understand nonverbal cues from creatures of the planet, and, most importantly, how to connect with another person through trust and honesty. "You're too serious sometimes," Leora told him one evening, as the twin suns dipped below the horizon. "Kindness isn't just about being brave. It's about noticing things, caring about things, caring about people. Ethan laughed softly. And you've been noticing me? He grinned. Yes. And your mom too. Celera, observing quietly, felt warmth spread through her chest. She hadn't realized how much she needed someone who could understand both her world and her heart. And Ethan, for the first time in years, felt like he had someone who truly saw him, not as a soldier or a traveler, but as a human. An unexpected threat. Peace, however, is fragile in the galaxy. A rival scientific faction, the Zephyrians, learned of Celera's research and sought to claim it, and Leora, with her unusual insight, became a target. One night, alarms blared. The biodome's shields flickered as unauthorized ships approached. Ethan reacted immediately, ushering Leora and Celera to a secure chamber. "They're coming for us," Leora said, her hands trembling slightly. They'll try to take her." Ethan activated his combat protocols, directing the dome's defenses while preparing a counteroffensive. "Not while I'm here. I promise to protect both of you. And I always keep my promises." As Zephyrian drones breached the outer perimeter, Leora's energy sensitivity came into play. She manipulated small pulses, disrupting drone navigation. Ethan coordinated defenses and countermeasures. Celera worked furiously to stabilize the dome and protect her research. The combined effort of human ingenuity and Leora's instinctive alien abilities turned the tide. By dawn, the Zephyrian threat had been repelled. The power of words. After the attack, the three of them gathered in the observation chamber, exhausted but alive. Leora turned to Ethan, her wide eyes glimmering. "You stayed, you didn't leave. Even when it was scary." "I'm not leaving you," Ethan replied. You changed everything," she said softly. "Because of you, my mom," she smiled. "And she wasn't scared. And you were brave. All because you listened. All because you cared. All because you're kind." Celera looked at Ethan with tears in her eyes. "She's right," she said. "Your presence, your courage. It's changed both our lives." Ethan felt something shift inside him. He realized that the child's simple words, playful yet profound, had altered the path of his existence. Leora's plea had been more than a request. It was a catalyst for connection, love, and growth. New beginnings. Weeks later, the trio began to settle into a new rhythm. Ethan's role shifted, from protector and visitor to something closer to family. The relationship between him and Celera blossomed, built on trust, shared experiences, and the undeniable influence of Leora's insight. Leora, for her part, thrived. She became more confident, compassionate, and adventurous, her human and alien influences blending seamlessly. The small energy pulses that once frightened her now became tools for exploration and defense. Ethan and Celera discussed the future openly, recognizing that their bond was forged not just from attraction but from shared challenges, growth, and a child's wisdom. The Galactic recognition. News of the Zephyrian attack and the trio's ingenuity spread across sectors. Ethan was hailed not merely for his combat skill, but for his humanity, the ability to act with courage, compassion, and moral clarity in the face of danger. Leora, the small child whose words had brought them together, became an inspiration. She showed that insight and love were not bound by age or species, and that a single voice, even a child's, could catalyze change in the galaxy. Celera and Ethan traveled together, presenting their findings and demonstrating the power of human-alien collaboration. Leora often accompanied them, serving as both symbol and participant in the growing movement of interspecies understanding. A child's lasting impact. Years later, as they stood on a cliff overlooking the violet plains of the planet that had first brought them together, Leora reflected on the journey. "You know," she said, smiling at Ethan and Celera, "I think I made the right choice. Asking you to come, to stay. It was scary, but it was right." Ethan knelt beside her. "You changed my life too, Leora. Your words, your courage. They made me see what I'd been missing." Celera put her hand on his shoulder. "And together we've shown that love, human, alien, or both, can change everything." The sun set across the alien horizon, bathing them in a soft, golden glow. In that moment, the trio understood something profound. A single voice, no matter how small, can alter destinies. A child's words can change lives, hearts, and even the course of entire civilizations. For Ethan, Celera, and Leora, it had already done so, and the galaxy would never be the same.